In order to understand time, we have to understand the concept of two other things. The first one is change. The first letter of the word change is C, which also starts for communication. From the inception of human civilization, human beings have seen different types of communication, starting from wheels, then to boats, then to cars, and so on. Now we can see all those types of drones and many other things at the present time. So, what is the thing which transformed, better to say, changed from wheel to the drones? It has happened in the course of time. Now, when it has happened in the course of time, there are other modes of communication. The way which we use today is like messaging or Facebook. All these things are nothing but massive modified forms of things like pigeons, letters, post office, and so on. And what made all these things? How can you understand that this has transformed into this? We understand this because time has flown. Now, the second letter of the word change is H, which is also the initial of the word habitat. Previously, the primitive man used to live in caves. From then onwards, they came into being. There were multi-storied, there were huts, there were multi-storied buildings, then there were land scrappers. All of these things changed, but why? Only because of that, now we understand that time has flown from 3000 BC to 2019. And now, there are two letters in between the word change. They are A and N, which means CHA. Communication and habitat, these are artificial changes. And the natural change includes growth and evolution. What is growth? We start at the beginning of our life at the embryo in the mother's womb. But from the mother's womb till the childhood, we do not understand anything. What is time? We do not even understand a single thing about time. And in the teenage, we're just too much obsessed with ourselves. But when we understand, it's almost too late and we all have a foot in the grave. So at that time, we also do not understand what is time. But in case of evolution, whatever you look outside, everything is the result of an evolution. All this evolution resulted into the massive change that we see today. But what is time? Let's come to the point. We have seen changes from the tiniest bit to the humongous changes. But how do we really define time? Time is nothing but a thread which stitches all these changes, starting from the small one to the humongous one, to the gift, to form the components of the gift. And it is what has the most precious gift the world has ever seen, which spells L, I, F, and E. So this is what time says, and this is how time introduces all these things into the life. Thank you. All of this were the theoretical part, but how do we use these concepts of time, change and life, all of these things in our own life so that our life can be manipulated in a good way? Well, let me define it in a very easy way. Well, this is a canvas, but the characteristics of this canvas is that it is not white. It goes from dark to white. So anyone, if you have a pen and if you write anything here on the dark region, nobody will be able to see it. But if you just write something here, some people may be able to see it. But if you write it in this region where it's white, many people will be able to see it. August gathering, this is the canvas of life. We the humans are just too busy with ourselves. What we try to do, we live in our comfort zones because we have a burden. We keep this burden with ourselves, and what we do, we just sit and do things which people do not remember. But if we have the tiniest bit of motivation inside ourselves, if we just are eager to just rise up a bit, we can do something which the whole world will be able to, people will be able to see. If we leave further our comfort zones, if we rise up from our life from this comfort zone and rise up, one day we will write something on the upper region with the burden in our shoulders, and that will be remembered by all the people in the world. And this is the canvas of life. Whatever we write, that is the change. But the pen we have, and the ink that we have inside the pen, the limited ink that we have inside the pen is the time. And this is how we the OMARians would like to define life, time, change. Thank you.